Welcome back. Taking a look at a new RTA. This is by Oumier, however you want to pronounce them. This is the Wasp Nano RTA. Alright, so we're going to dive right down, take a look at this kind of weird color, almost toy-looking RTA. Before I do that, I just want to preface this with saying that most stuff from Oumier, I'm going to say Oumier, is wonderful. I know someone, John, who is an absolute nut when it comes to their RDTAs and their RDAs. I wish I could, she got approval from him to put some pictures that he walks out of the house with a dozen of each going every day. And they are wonderful devices. I love the RDA. It's a wonderful single coil, small flavored device. Let's dive down, take a look at this, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Alright, today we're taking a look at the Wasp Nano RTA by Oumier. So, this is the rainbow version, obviously, which comes with this green mouthpiece on top. Take a real quick look what's in the box. You're going to get your manual, you're going to get some extra O-rings, you're going to get some cotton, and you're going to get your screwdriver tool. And you will get a coil, which I have actually used for a while and then stopped using on this. And I have other coils in there, and we'll talk more about that when we go on top. But let's take a look at this up close. So, I do like the looks of this thing. I think it looks really cool. Rainbow's nice. The size of it, being a small chamber, normally improves flavor greatly. This mouthpiece on top, it's okay. And most of the other, or maybe all of the other, the RDTA and the RTA, the RDA, you were able to put an 510 drip tip into the top of this. You cannot do that on this one. This is an O-ringed 510 drip tip, and it just does not stay in. So you cannot use your own drip tips in this if you're somebody that like to use 510 drip tips in your Oumier devices, Addies. Just remember you can't with this. Now, taking the top off here for filling can be a little hard to grip. If you make this really tight, you're really going to have a hard time. I didn't tighten it down. I just washed it, so it may be a little wet, but it can be a little hard to get off, so just don't put it down too tight. All right? So you got nice large fill holes in there, of course. You put that in, and the threading's not bad. I mean, it's plasticky, but it's not terrible. It really isn't. All right, your airflow here, 1, 2, 3 holes, and it does have stoppers. Your 510 pin is nicely protruding. Let's go ahead and open it up. Obviously, it does say Wasp Nano inside. So like I said, this is, I've gone through a bunch of coils. This is the coil I have in here at this time. I've tried coils at this height, and I think that's what works the best. If you'll notice here, you see you do have airflow on this side, and this side are at different heights. Alright, so you will have, for example, here, the air is hitting almost in the bottom of the coil. Here it is hitting the bottom half of the coil. I have tried this with the coil at that height. Flush with the top here and also low down. I did not notice a big difference in any of those ways that I did it. The quality of the vape seemed pretty much the same, so I left it this way in order to be able to put more cotton in. I'm not going to do a wick on here, and you'll understand why when we get back up on top. But basically, there is your wick hole, and I've tried it with wicking. Let me grab a screwdriver here. I've tried it with the wicking ending right at this bottom level, which is what I normally do, have the wicking come right to here. I've tried the wicking all the way to the bottom. I've tried leaving a load of cotton up here and having it come down. I've tried it where it does not have a lot and it just comes straight down the normal way. A lot of different configurations here. And yeah, we'll talk more about that. So there you go. It is quite simple. Also, I've had the screws start to, I don't know if this will focus that close. The screws are starting to get chewed up, all right? After about, taking it in and out only 3 or 4 times, they're starting to get chewed up on there. So you got to be careful with that as well. But other than that, the threading is nice. It's not a high-quality, heavy-duty device, but the threading and everything about it has been nice. So let's go ahead. Let's put that here. Let's get you some specs on it, and then we'll go back up and talk about it. All right, so let's do this in 2 stages. The first stage, for those people that don't want to hear everything, let me tell you what I think about this in the quick version. No. Now, for those of you who want to get the long version, no. And I'll tell you why. So, using the coil that came with this, and I had the same result with everything. I've tried it with 3 coils. I've used the coil that came with it, some other Clapton on my own. I think it was the new Vape Claptons. And then I used a 2.5 millimeter coil trying to dial that down. No matter how you wick this, and I've wicked this thing probably 9 times already, I have never gotten a dry hit. I'll say that. I have never, excuse me, never gotten a dry hit. But after you wick it, juice it, after the first few hits, when that fountain is completely saturated because you poured juice directly on it, after those first few hits, the problem is you keep feeling like it's going to dry hit. You get that problem, and I apologize if you're hearing the hot water heater noise in the background. The problem is you get that sound of it not wicking fast enough. You'll take a hit on it, the flavor's pretty darn good, but then you'll just get that kind of sound. I'll see if I can reproduce it for you, which just tells you it's not wicking fast enough. Now, I've wicked this thing, cotton going through the wick holes to the bottom, cotton going level with the wick holes, which is what I normally do on something like this that works perfect. Cotton with a big bushes of cotton on top and then just a little bit coming through. I've done it every different way, and it's the same result every time. It feels like it's going to dry hit. It doesn't dry hit, but it feels like it's going to dry hit. And I've had that happen so many times that why would I want to use this? Why would I want to go through something that no matter what coil, cotton, whatever I use, it's just not coming out great when there are so many great RTAs out there. All right, and I know other people's reviews. I haven't watched them, but through hearsay, I know some people absolutely love it. Some other people are just okay with it. I don't know if anybody else has said they don't like it like I'm saying. There's a lot of reviews out there for it, but in my opinion, there's just better options out there, so why go with something like this that's not going to be totally satisfying? And I'm going to take a vape now. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll try and reproduce it. I'm getting the vapor. I'm getting pretty good flavor off of it. I'm happy with the flavor. I certainly wouldn't say, flavor's not so great. Flavor's pretty good. It's just that feeling like it's going to dry hit bugs the hell out of me to the point that I wouldn't want to use it all the time. And speaking to John, who is, I consider him the Wasp Nano expert, he's getting that same thing most of the time too, I think. Maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time. So I'm just not happy with it enough to say, yeah, it's great, go out and buy it. I'm pretty much just going to say, no, there's better things out there. If you're somebody that loves all the Oumier stuff and you just want to get it, this thing, I paid like $18, $19 for this thing. I don't remember if it was Heaven Gifts or where it was, or Fast Tech. You know, it's going for as much as $35 in the States. But if you want to pick it up for 18 bucks, pick it up, try it, fool around with it, be happy with it, but just don't expect it to be this wonderful, great RTA from the same people that make a great RDTA and RDA of the same name, the Wasp Nano series. All right, so there you go. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.